is one of the places most affected and vulnerable to climate change in Bangladesh. Salinity intrusion in Monpura due to storm surges, flood, cyclone, and sea level rise is a major problem for the residents of the island. Agricultural capacity of the land is in decline, and fishing activities are constrained due to different social and climatic stressors.
এই পর্যন্ত ধরেন আমার জীবনে আমি তিনবার বাড়ি পরিবর্তন করছি নদীর ভাঙনের কারণে।
লবণ পানির গতি কিন্তু ফসল আমরা ফলাইতে পারি না।
বর্ষায় লোড ক্ষয়ক্ষতি হয়ে যায়, পানি ঢুকিয়া মাছ নষ্ট হয়ে যায়।
জোয়ার আসলে আমরা সব ডুবে যাই, অনেক সময় লবণ পানিও পাইছি।
Existing vulnerabilities of the island call for actions to develop adaptive capacity of the locals. Project Integrity is a response to this call. Center for Sustainable Development CSD, ULAB and Keele University UK are working together to conduct the project so that the adaptive capacities among the inhabitants of the island are raised.
To create awareness and to advocate about the impacts of salinity caused by climate change, we have trained 15 young men and women as citizen scientists.
Citizen scientist is one of the core concepts of Integrity Project. A citizen scientist is someone from the local community to whom we have provided the necessary trainings to assist in scientific research and work as the intermediary collaborators between the professional scientists and the community. In this case, the citizen scientists of Monpura Island have been assisting us in scientific data collection from the island and independently keep the island's soil salinity level under close observation. Their independent observations would help the community and as well as the local authority to take informed decisions. To recruit the citizen scientists, we took assistance of Coast Trust, a local NGO. They helped us in finding 15 participants, both women and men. With them, we conducted a theoretical workshop where we first elaborately exchanged ideas related to soil salinity and its impacts. Then we provided the participants with the conceptual tools so that the matters can be understood from a scientific perspective. We elucidated their potential engagement in the scientific research to identify and monitor the first problem and find possible solutions to the problem. After the conceptual discussion, we conducted a training session with our citizen scientists on how to practically collect soil samples and the procedures of measuring soil salinity with electrical conductivity meter. Under the supervision of the experts, the workshop participants independently collected some soil samples and tested the salinity level of the samples. After the workshop, 2 EC meters were given to the citizen scientists to independently collect soil samples and monitor salinity for 4 months. For structured data collection, the citizen scientists were given 3 transect lines labeled as A, B, and C drawn by our expert team. However, the citizen scientists collected the data without the help of the experts. Samples are collected for 4 consecutive months: October, November, December of 2021 and January of 2022. Citizen scientists tested the samples by themselves and they also sent the samples to us in Dhaka for cross-validation of the results through laboratory analysis. The citizen scientists were encouraged to share their knowledge with others in their community so that the hub of the citizen scientists can be expanded in an organic fashion. And to showcase the vulnerabilities of the island to the world, artist and educator Mr. Monirujjaman Shipu conducted an interactive graffiti art workshop for us. Mr. Monirujjaman Shipu has been doing his community engagement interactive graffiti in Bangladesh and abroad since 2011. We choose paintings as a medium of experience dissemination because paintings can overcome the language barriers of the community and effectively communicate with audience home and abroad. Also, it can effortlessly capture the vivid emotions of the participants, which would have strong impressions on its audience.
পোশাক চলবে না ওই টাইম পাঁচটা হইল তুমি পোষে খাইও তুমি বাড়ি দেয়াইও তুমি বাড়ি চাইলে তোমার ছেলে হবে তোমায় বুড়া ডাকবে তোমার টেডি পোশাক তোমার চলবে না
On the very first day of our art workshop, we engaged with the young citizen scientists and the randomly chosen 15 adult members from different unions of the island. We held an ice-breaking session with them where we discussed the concept of the workshop. We also brainstormed some drawing ideas for the graffiti to project the impacts of climate change.
We just found a lot of interesting story. Probably in the later stage we'll do one exhibition and a lot of people will engage with us to share their stories. Now another group is doing their practice of local song because we have also planned to use local song and people will share their stories of sufferings due to those natural hazards through folk song as well.
ভাগো ভাগো মনপুরাবাসী সবাই মিলে ভাগো এমন ব্যক্তি হারিয়ে গেলে কোথায় খুঁজে পাবো আমরা এইবার আমাদের এই মনপুরাতে আমাদের যে জীবন এখন মনপুরায় ধরেন যে জীবন মানে যে দুঃখের জীবন তা তো না সুখের জীবনও আছে স্বপ্ন আছে অনেক ভালো কিছু আছে ভালো কথা কষ্টের কথা আনন্দের কথা স্বপ্নের কথা এই কথাগুলো আমরা বিশ্বের মানুষের কাছে জানাবো এবং সেটা জানাবো ছবির মধ্য দিয়ে
After the orientation of the art workshop, we provided our participants with pieces of papers, pencil and other materials. We encouraged them to make drawings on paper that portray their personal stories about climate crisis. Our plan was to connect those portrayals on canvas and create the basic layout of the graffiti. At the same time, we prepared 30 feet long canvas covered by tapes on which the participants made their final sketches.
পিছনে গাছ থাকে গাছ তারপরে জমি রাস্তার পাশে অনেক সময় বড় বড় গাছ দেখা যায় এটাই হচ্ছে আমার স্বপ্নের একটা মানে প্রাকৃতিক ভাবে আমি করছি যে আমরা যেন আগামীতে এইরকম পাই পরিবেশটা
After the completion of the drawings, the participants transfer those images to the canvases in a manner so that the story can get visualized. On the canvases, the participants sketch the stories related to their neighborhood, their culture and society, and the natural hazards like soil and water salinity, flood and cyclone. The people are well aware that the increase of the frequency of natural hazards is related to climate change. The local Upazila Nirvahi officer, the chief administrative officer of the Upazila or sub-district of Monpura, was also involved in the workshop. He also drew some sketches on the canvas and appreciated the initiative.
প্রকৃত সমস্যাটা বোঝার জন্য আমাকে গবেষণার দরকার আছে গবেষণার জন্য হচ্ছে তাদের যে প্রয়াসটা আমার কাছে মনে হচ্ছে বেটার এবং এর ফলে হচ্ছে আমাদের সাধারণ মানুষের মধ্যে একটা অ্যাওয়ারনেস যদি ক্রিয়েট করা যায় যে আমাদের স্যালাইনিটির ফলে হচ্ছে কি ইম্প্যাক্ট করতেছে এবং এই ইম্প্যাক্টটা থেকে আমাদের নিজেদেরকে যদি আমাদের সাস্টেইন করতে হয় সাস্টেইন করার জন্য নিশ্চয়ই হচ্ছে এখানে যে ফাইন্ডিংস পাবে ফাইন্ডিংস থেকে তারা একটা ইয়া করবে আমাদের জন্য কিছু সুপারিশ মালা দিয়ে যাবে অবশ্যই
On the last day of our workshop, we coated the canvases with the blue color, the color of the sea, and we put the canvases on an open space to meet many people. We prepared a lot of other colors and offered people to paint and write whatever they liked. When we were doing it in public, the curious people started to gather around and a huge crowd was formed.
মানুষ এঁকেছি আর আঁকেছি মা মনপুরা থাকি এগুলো এঁকেছি।
এখানে সূর্য আঁকার চেষ্টা করতেছি।
মনপুরার এখানকার চিত্রগুলো ফুটিয়ে তোলার চেষ্টা করতেছি, যেমন মনপুরার সৌন্দর্যগুলো, মনপুরার ডিজাস্টার যেটা হলো মনপুরার ক্ষতিকর দিকগুলো।
আমি একটা ফুল আঁকছি আমার মেয়ের জন্য, আর মনপুরাতে এরকম আর্টিস্টরা আসছে, এটা তো আমার জন্য খুবই ভালো লাগছে।
When the canvas was ready, we started removing the tapes. With every tape being removed, the final version of the painting slowly started to become visible to everyone. The things people drew and wrote on the canvas portrayed both their love and anxiety about the place they live in. Many of these paintings and writings brought forward their concerns about climate change.
4 দিনে আমরা কি করলাম এটা আমার কাছে খুব আনন্দ লাগতেছে। আর এখানে তো মূলত আমরা মনপুরার দ্বীপ অঞ্চলের মানুষ, তো মনপুরার মূল বিষয় হলো আমরা ঝড় বৃষ্টি নদী ভাঙ্গন এসব নিয়েই কি আমাদের জীবন।
Through this interactive graffiti workshop, we wanted to understand their experience with climate change and project that through the frames of a canvas. Throughout the process, we had meaningful conversations among ourselves and learned about each other's stories from different perspectives. We also exchanged feedback on the artwork. By creating the graffiti, the participants of the workshop tried to bring up their stories related to natural hazards and their impacts on the daily life. All of them agreed that no other medium than an interactive graffiti could better convey their stories of climate change to the outer world. The workshop was ended with them taking pledge that they will work with us on the conservation of the nature of the island and protect its ecosystem.
শোনেন শোনেন বিশ্ববাসী, শোনেন বীরামন, মন পুরা ছোট মোরা করিব বর্ণন।